In Boulder, we live next to incredible wildlife, but small everyday habits by residents put these animals at risk, often without us noticing. Trash, feeding wildlife, and off-leash dogs are three of the biggest causes of preventable conflict, yet many residents don't know the impact of these actions. From a survey I conducted, over 50% of students at the University of Colorado Boulder claimed they encounter wildlife at least a few times a month, all that were positive or neutral experiences. For example, here's a See You Boulder Instagram page of all the raccoons seen around campus. You may be familiar with those trash cans. Now, let's hear what some Boulder, Colorado residents have to say.
Hi, my name is Emily Shendy, and what is your name?
My name is Jack Morgan, and I'm a student at CU Boulder.
I'm Melissa.
Okay, and are you a current Boulder resident?
I am.
Okay, my name is Emily Shendy, and can I have your name?
Yeah, Tyler McIntyre.
Okay, perfect.
Hi, I'm Fiona Kim. I'm a sophomore at CU Boulder.
What wildlife have you seen in the wild?
Lots of wildlife. A lot of deer, lots of birds, small critters up here.
Okay.
But there's tons of deer. Supposedly there's some lions that come down and sometimes eat dogs. There's been some bears in our backyard. And we have to do the trash and lots of raptors and then squirrels. Yeah.
Okay, that's definitely a great answer. What do you think is the biggest cause of human-wildlife conflict?
Probably cars, like people hitting animals. I feel like I see that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably say all the traffic in cars. It's just like they try to see animals cross and they can't cross the road.
There's like certain animals that you can say.
Bunnies, I see like ran over raccoons.
Okay.
This is just the intersection of habitat. We sort of exist here at the edge of the wildland and the urban interface, and as people are sort of going out into the natural environment, we're of course going to interact with them, and as we're reducing resources for animals, they also move into territory that we consider ours.
Yes, that's a great
in order to,
I absolutely agree with that.
I would think like speed at which we move, not recognizing our place and size in the world as humans. I think they really are very aligned with who we are in perspective of the rest of nature and don't consider ourselves natural, which is kind of icky.
You mentioned the bears, like facing bears in your trash. So what's the closest encounter you've had with wildlife? Have you?
I mean, I've been like a deer and I try to give them space, but sometimes the deer are like literally like at the pot next and like the babies are like, sniffing with me. It's really good with them.
And have you ever had like human-wildlife interaction with those creatures?
I've had a few cases where like a bear was walking up a trail, and I had to turn around and go the other way or sort of step off to the side.
Okay.
And then, sort of same thing with deer.
Majority of the survey participants don't understand Boulder's wildlife safety guidelines. Furthermore, feeding wildlife makes animals dependent on humans and encourages risky, unnatural behavior that leads to more conflict. Unsecured trash draws wildlife into neighborhoods, creating dangerous encounters and often leading to animals being relocated or euthanized. That's why it's very important to have bear-safe trash cans. And lastly, off-leash dogs can chase or stress wildlife and increase the risk of harmful encounters for both animals and people. Half of the survey participants have engaged in poor behaviors such as leaving trash or food waste outside overnight, walking or hiking with a dog off-leash where leash rules apply, feeding wildlife intentionally or unintentionally by leaving food accessible. However, they all claim that they would follow the guidelines more properly if there was clear signage on trails, better access to wildlife-safe trash cans, more campus education about rules, and short video or media reminders. Let's see how the interviewees feel about this.
Are you aware of the Boulder guidelines for like trash and leashing dogs?
No.
Okay.
No, I am not.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Don't feed wildlife and
less littering, less trash. There's just so many colleges in here that just litter.
Enough trash. There's trash everywhere around here.
Okay, and then
Other stuff.
okay, and then for the last question, do you feel informed about how to coexist with wildlife, and then why or why not?
No, I just feel like there hasn't been any like teaching from the school about that. Or, I mean, I'm sure there's stuff from the city of Boulder, but I don't see it actively. So.
I do think it's really important. I think public education, especially in public spaces like here at Chautauqua or other open spaces, is one thing. Another is in terms of how we craft stories in the media, how we sort of talk about these issues at that scale, and then the other is just like education in schools, elementary school children, really making sure that people understand these ideas from a very young age.
So you would say it's important in the media to spread like awareness. That would be a good outlet.
Yeah, I think media is, in the past it was an extraordinarily important outlet and continues to be that, even if it's not quite as much in terms of mainstream media. And I think there's definitely ways to sort of uplift those voices and stories in a way that gets.
That's right. There's foxes. I've been like really close to coyotes, which is scary. And we coexist with animals everywhere. And here it's just like, well, it's inevitable, and like, what a blessing. You know, it's such a huge gift. So we should be maybe paying some more attention to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is very important that as citizens of Boulder, we utilize our resources and get involved, whether that be with conservation and advocacy organizations such as the Center for Western Priorities, or simply give animals space or report problem activities. To further help your understanding of Boulder's guidelines, feel free to look up OSMP. The following regulations are in effect on open space and mountain parks for the enjoyment and protection of this unique resource and are posted at every trailhead. Small changes add up. If every resident made just one shift, Boulder's wildlife would be safer, and so would we. We're neighbors. Let's treat Boulder's wildlife like it.